good evening. Welcome to Damaged Us D&D. Back with our Helloran Rising campaign, episode 56. Actually, no, it's 57, I think, now. Ooh.
Episode lots.
Episode 50 lots. So, this week's recap is by the wonderful Florian. So, take it away, lovely Florian.
Well, where do I start? So much is happening going on. It feels like I'm the only one who's looking out for what could be going on. That's not a bad thing, is it? After the fight in the main summoning room, Gus and Yark went through the entranceway. After I followed them in there was a sacrifice altar and a stream of blood that went to the main summoning pool. If that wasn't freaky enough, there was writing of all different languages scribbled into the stone, kept repeating the words Majesty, Prince, and All-Knowing. After doing some investigating, Gus and Yark didn't find any treasure this time, but Celeste did say that the elven writing was of her time, and it was done by her not-so-beloved Law. This got me thinking, how old was this? What time are they from? After doing some investigating, sorry, I've gone back to the bit what we just read. As Yark and I took the mad scribbling once again, we discerned that it could be decades old. The dwarvish writing is around 1,000 years old, so Law could be a very old and nasty man. With this new information, it really got me thinking. Maybe we could learn more about what's going on and the well of many wells too. We know how it works. Maybe we could stop all of this before it happens. After deliberating this, Miet came down from upstairs and informed us that there would be 2 tieflings coming back in about an hour. So we decided to set up an ambush for them to try and get some information out of them. Gus and Snow hid upstairs, with Miet being the bait so that others would come down the stairs to the summoning. This is where the rest of us were hidden really close to the stairs, where Melissa painted the second from bottom step away with her magical paint, so the tieflings would trip over. Yarok made a very neat swinging trap, triggered by the tieflings falling over the rope that was to put there too. Everything went brilliantly. Both tripped, and the first tiefling set off the rope trap. I've written that as tarp, and I nearly said top as
I've
well.
just noticed that.
Top.
It's a top!
Or a big stalagmite hit the second one right in the face. As this happened, me and Melissa tied up the first tiefling. Unfortunately, the second one wasn't so lucky. Bridget was following them from the stairs and decided to eat his head off as he was laying on the floor. With everyone surrounding the only surviving tiefling, they started to talk. Lying, of course, to begin with, but Melissa worked her magic and they started to come around. One of the main points he confirmed is that Locke is very heavily involved with everything going on, which means Celeste may be too. This got me thinking. What do my mother and father know? They told me the stories of Adriac if I didn't go to sleep on time. Maybe one of them can help in our endeavor. Maybe.
Can I insight check that recap to see if it's true?
Absolutely not.
You're lucky enough I got through that with the internet cutting out, even though I did fuck up.
That was the main set of applause was for the router holding up. Brave little router. So, you are indeed in this underground summoning cavern with 1.5 dead tieflings. Sorry, no, the second one's not dead yet, is he? He's just lying on the floor.
Well, Bidris was taking her claim on it.
Bridget was already eating one of them.
He was knocked out though, wasn't he? The one we were
and you've got an unconscious one that you were talking to. So, over to you guys. What do you want to do?
Where to next then?
Out of the city. Away from here.
Do that now in the cover of night before anybody else?
I think so.
Well, it's good
I
to
want
stay
to run
out
a-
there because there's still a big party going on, so there'll be lots of drunken people about. So if we pretend to be drunk, no one will think twice.
Florrie doesn't like it when drunk people are around.
It's not the drunk people, it's what drunk people don't see.
I don't see much at all when I'm drunk.
Exactly. Who's
You muted, Martin.
Yorick's lost his voice.
Sorry, I was muted. You must not see much very often then, Gus.
Ha 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 ha. I do see the bottom of my glass though.
Well,
Who's dealing with our friend here before we go?
What do you want done with him?
Miet brought up a good point last time that he's heard Celeste's name and quite a lot of what we've been talking about. We can't exactly just let him go.
Perhaps.
Yes. Do you want another one? Do you want a second dinner?
Bridris rushes over, yeah, indeed, and just takes a big chunk out of him.
Right. I was going to possibly protest at killing an unarmed prisoner, but a bit late for that.
Yeah.
He's a devil worshipper, and he tried to kill us.
But loads of people try to kill us.
Yeah, but they're not all
They
devil
They
worshippers.
can't all be bad.
Well, they're trying to kill us. They've got to be bad. I mean, if they don't try and kill us, there's potential for them being good. But if they're trying to kill us, then they're bad, aren't they?
It's fine. It's done now anyway. I'm not that upset. Just
Bridris sort of moves the body next to the other one, so she now has two bodies that she sort of claws over. She's not actually eating them at the moment, she's just sort of guarding them.
Hoarding.
As
Just
if,
so well she has an aspect that other body Gus was looking after.
Whereabouts are we going to go to then? I mean, we can leave the city, but we need a direction first.
I feel like we need to do something about Lorx.
I would
I don't-
suggest that we don't do anything yet. He's far too powerful for us to take on, and this cavern has only showed us there's an extra dimension to him we were not aware of.
True, but the question is, why isn't he here? If this summoning was so important to him, what's he doing away from the city?
Because he was on his way. He's moving south. He was coming here. That is why we have to leave.
This was supposed to be a distraction for us, and perhaps they were intending to spirit Celeste away to meet him,
They
but
even know that we were here until they saw us in the tavern.
Shall we go and find somewhere to talk rather than here?
so it's just convenient that they decided to summon something to distract us in the city on the day that we arrive.
Who knows what they are summoning stuff for?
This is a little bit too convenient for me.
Melissa,
Hmm?
may I have a look at the book again, please?
Certainly. The page with Lorx, or
No, I'm looking for something else now.
sure.
I don't know what the rest of you want to do, but do you want me to head to the docks and begin summoning our transport?
How long will that take?
Which is why I want to go and start doing it now, because it may be instant, it may be an hour.
Do we have to do it at the docks? Could we not go to...
Well,
And it's
boats
just-
go on water, Florian.
It's
No,
not
no,
the point it's not
I-
the point of making sure that it's the point that we go through the docks, we're going to be seen massively by a lot of people again.
We're not going to be seen because everybody is partying and the people on the boats are asleep.
As long as you're certain.
And more to the point, I would be happy if they saw me summon it. It would bring me great joy.
But that kind of defeats the point of slipping away quietly. Florian might have a point. Maybe we walk out of the city and go and summon it upriver somewhere. Or
If we walk out of the city, we need to pass the guards. If we are leaving in the middle of the night, they are going to ask questions. If we leave via the docks, nobody's going to ask a question.
Were there
Maybe-
guards when we walked into the city?
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember
Well,
that half a session we argued about disguises to get past
Oh
the
yeah,
And the guards didn't care.
yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but we're kind of safe boat. Although it's a spooky boat. Kind of.
Gonna say that I think the
I
boat
like
is
the boat.
the safest way out. If Locke's traveling south, whatever way we go, we're traveling north somewhat, so we could just bump into him.
Can
while we're out.
can we power the boat? Just you, Snow? You know what happened to your friend?
I can, but only for a short time.
Can you teach one of us to help?
No.
We ought to help. I'm sure.
We could paddle.
I don't. I think I need to remind you what happened the last time that somebody tried to help.
Which is why I think we should use the boat only to get us to a distant shore for as short a time as possible.
Yeah.
I do not want to risk your life, Snow.
And it's less about that, it's more that it exhausts me over time. But if I can use it for a short time to get us away from the city, and then we can use the tides to push us along as a normal ship.
Yeah.
Get to the boat, leave the city, talk on the boat.
Mightn't be the best idea, because...
Gus, is Bridges going to be able to finish those in the next few minutes? So we can go.
Or does she want
Chris,
to take...
you stay here and finish your dinner, and you go home after that, and I'll call you back when next time we need a fight, okay?
What? You want me to stay here?
What?
You want me to stay here?
Well, you can if you want to. I thought you wanted to finish your dinner.
Well, I'm not going to eat them all right now, but,
Okay,
you know.
take them with you then.
Okay. Well, I could just sort of pile them up and have a little sleep.
Well, yeah, it could be a bit dangerous if someone else, as loads more come down, they might hurt you. Remember that guy that booped you on the snoot?
That's a good point. I'll think about it.
Right. Well, we've got to go now, and it's too dangerous for you to be outside with us here because it's full of hundreds and thousands of these people, and they might boop you a lot. So that's why I say it'd be a good idea for you to go home.
Did you say hundreds and thousands?
Yeah.
I'll be fine. I'll stay here.
Eating.
That's people, not sprinkles.
Well, you must have noticed that Bridges is quite large now. So she's looking at you, Gus, as if to say, you know what? Hundreds of thousands would make a lovely horde. I could stay right here.
And that's going right over my head.
Yep.
Bridges wants a city.
Bridges wants a horde.
So,
Right.
to the docks it is then, yeah?
Get out of the city and then figure out what we're going to do.
Okay.
Get some rest on the boat.
So, you're going back up the stairs and out through the building.
Yeah.
We act like we've been to the party, the celebration, as we're moving through the crowd.
Depends how many people are... What time is it now?
Let me see. What did you do? You went to the inn after the play. You didn't have a long rest, did you?
Yo.
So I would suggest it's probably about 6 in the morning, so it's getting light.
So we could be doing the walk of shame. There you go.
Exactly. But you were told that the party lasts for 24 hours, and it
Oh, yeah,
started at
yeah.
1 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
So-
just try and blend in. Get through quickly.
So, if that's the case, then you make your way out of the building, leaving Bridges behind to sit on her horde.
As we leave, can I just have a look up at rooftops and
Sure,
do
make
what
a
around just
perception
to make
check.
sure?
As we leave, can I look for a little stall I can get some road beers from?
Road beers, yep, sure, make a perception check. Very low
16.
DC for that. Would you get 16?
Yeah.
Looking up at the skyline, you see nobody up on the roofs. Nobody seems to be paying much attention to you. There's a lot of people sort of sleeping on the streets. There are still bands of groups of people drinking, singing, shouting at each other. It is just chaos. Think big festival, 6 in the morning, the people who are still drinking, and then the people who are just about to start drinking. So there's a healthy mix of idiots.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Perfect pickpocketing territory.
I mean, if you want to go pick some pockets, let me know. So, what did you roll for your find some beers stall?
21.
21. Yeah, there are plenty. There's the four inns on the four corners of the square. There are also stalls still selling that alcoholic drink that's specially for the festival. Looks like blood. So you can pick up whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll probably grab a couple of those from the stall. Don't want to get in a building.
Okay. Yeah, knock off however many you're going to take. You can
Just
buy
two.
a large sort of cask of it if you want.
Yes,
For a
I'll do
gold. You can have a gold that's got probably 50 shots in it.
That'll do us till we get to the boat.
Well, not shots, but like half pints glasses. So 25 pints. There you go.
I'm straight. Yeah, I'll tell you that. And how much was that?
A gold. It's
One
not.
gold.
It's not particularly expensive. It's everywhere. Everybody's selling it, so it's very cheap.
Cool.
Okay, so as you, what are you going stealthily? Are you pretending to be drunk? What's the
I'm going to
plan?
link my arm with Yorick, take one of the beers from him, and start singing dwarven songs.
Excellent.
Songs.
Performance check then. You can have advantage because you're a dwarf and you know all about being drunk. Anybody else?
I'm gonna walk alongside Celeste, occasionally looking at the dwarves with a really look on my face
Okay,
and
so
rolling
you're
my
just
eyes.
walking normally and staring at the dwarf. So performance check.
13.
13. I mean, it's very difficult sometimes to tell the difference between drunk Gus and sober Gus. Nobody can tell. If anybody's got a mod, we can just get rid of that.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Thanks. So, anybody else doing anything particularly special on the way to the docks?
I'll walk beside Florian in
Yeah.
silence, unless he.
I'm just going to keep an eye out and just trying to blend in, but not be drunk or not act drunk or anything. Just just
Okay.
going with the flow.
I want to look around, see if I can spot Lork.
Make a perception check.
13.
13. Looking around, you can see many, many tieflings. There doesn't seem to be any elvish types at all here. And certainly nobody matching the description of Lork. Thank you, mods. So, you make it to the docks without issue. Nobody seems to be paying that much attention to groups of people wandering about, some drunk, some not. You know, it's one of those type of affairs. You get to the docks. The docks is strangely empty. The boats that were there last night that you upset with flying, etc., two of them appear to have gone. There's only one left in the dock.
Any particular name on that boat?
That boat is called. That's a good plan. Thank you for that.
It's called The Hunt for Celeste. No,
Yeah.
wait.
That's exactly why I'm looking at it though.
The nosy bastard. No. Yeah, this one's called the Well Song. Wellsong.
Anybody awake on top on board?
Make a perception check.
12.
12. You stare at it for a while in the sort of glowing, growing lightning of the sky, and you begin to make out there is somebody stood on the top of the sort of top cabin. It's just sort of standing behind the mast, just leaning up against.
tabaxi?
Yeah.
Or...
I mean, you've
Okay.
seen boats like this before, and they generally have somebody on watch.
Okay.
Right. So I would make my way to the end of the pier
Okay.
and then just reach out and try and summon the Runa of Fame.
Okay. Make me a religion check, please.
So it's
If you call out.
17 on the dice. Where's it gone? 19.
19. You send your thoughts out across the water, calling for the Runa of Fame. And you hear, well, not hear, but feel a sense that the Runa of Fame hears your call and is coming. We're not sure how far away it is, but it sounded fairly distant. I think you maybe have an hour, maybe two, to wait until it gets to you.
While Snow's doing his thing, I'm going to sit down, sort of not too far away, but not like right in the middle of people.
Okay.
With
It's very quiet here. There's nobody on the docks at all, apart from this one boat with one watchman.
Yeah, I mean, not right in the middle of our group either.
Okay.
And I want to take the both the books if I can.
Okay.
And starting with the higher up one, I want to look to see if I can find any sign of my father or any of my family in any of these books.
Okay, make an investigation check.
And I'm going to guidance myself for that as well.
Sure.
Because
why
it's
not?
quite important.
Well, maybe it is.
I'd make my way back along the pier
Yep.
to the group. It's coming, but it is going to be an hour or so. It was quite far away, but it will be here.
It's
We can
quite
wait.
quiet here, isn't it? So
Give us a chance to decompress after.
Oh, why don't we just sit down here and have a few drinks then?
Precisely.
when Celeste is done, I was have to ask you as well, Shan.
Okay, Celeste, what'd you get?
16.
16. You're flicking through the book. Let's see, where's it at?
Anything that looks remotely like Daoine. Because she knows from what Melissa said, they don't tend to stray very far from.
Yeah, I mean, there's no particular. Do you read Infernal?
No.
You don't, so you're looking at pictures, really.
I'll be looking at pictures, yeah.
There are some disturbing pictures. You come across the one that looks like Vale. You come across various others. There is a picture of a strange sort of dark hooded figure that's sort of nondescript. It's more like a picture, you know when you see a picture of like a cloak that's just darkness inside it, sort of wisps coming out of it, wisp tendrils of dark. You find a picture like that has something written underneath it. That's a bit odd. You find various pictures of demons that are horrifically ugly, with various tentacles and stuff. But they tend to be in the sort of beginner's book, if you like, the basic book. The more advanced book, the pictures are more of humanoid looking. It seems the higher up the demon or devil, rather, the more humanoid they look. They start to
The more
look.
they can disguise themselves.
Well, possibly. You don't know. You can't read Infernal, so you're not really sure what is going on there. But those are the pictures you find of interest with a 16.
Melissa. May I ask for your expertise again?
Certainly, darling. What are you looking for?
My father's family. But Well, I can look at pictures. I don't understand any of the words.
Right. What names am I looking for?
Well, my family name is Dairine,
Hmm.
and my father is Athil.
Ethel.
But if Lork goes back further, then it might not necessarily be my father in this book.
I'll take a look. And I'll check the book for
Okay.
anything Daewin,
An
anything
investigation check.
Elithil, and anything Droust. Investigation, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty good. 18.
18. There's nothing about Daewin. Nothing about sorry, what else was it you were looking for? You were looking for
Athil.
Athil. No,
Athil.
nothing about Athil,
And Droust.
and nothing about Droust. You find yourself drawn back to the picture of Lork, or to give him his full name, which is a bit strange when you try and translate it directly from the Infernal, is Mahariloch the Undying. That's Mahiralorkh,
That's not ominous at all.
the Undying.
Can you spell that one again?
No. Oh, right. Mahiralorkh.
There's something I didn't spot.
And just would you get 18?
Yeah.
Just below that,
Is the network error? Can't hear anything.
there is a apparently there's
Network error.
a network error. Can't hear anything. Oh yeah,
Try reloading it.
I've just reloaded it, so hopefully we're back on. Are we
I
back
think
on?
it's a.
Not yet.
I think it's a individual thing.
Yeah, I got the I've got the stream open and I can still hear everything.
Okay, do you want to reload it?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Okay. So, apologies for network errors. Apparently, a lot of it going about today. There's a passage on the page opposite where it's very difficult to translate. This is a very strange version of Infernal. There was something about a deal that Miharalorkh made with Fiona, and something about a chosen, but it's not really sure what that's in relation to. But there is it's more of a prophecy more than actual facts, and it states that in the year 476 the deal ends and Fiona will come to claim what is hers.
And that's in relation to Miharalorkh.
Yep.
What year is it now?
476.
Okay, that's good to know.
I mean, did you really have to ask that question, Jay?
I mean, come on.
I just wanted to check.
In fairness, we could have gotten the really bad answer.
Could have gotten a really bad answer of 477 something.
Could have been. This is still quite a bad answer, but But yeah, that's the sort of thing that catches your eye. There's nothing about the other people that you were asking about.
No, there's no sign of your father or anything.
It's just
But something I'm going to bring up once we're on the boat.
okay. Thank you for helping me look.
Darling, it's fine. As I said to you, my oath to you as Heartseeker, though my temple may not stand anymore, is still to keep you safe from someone who was, well, not the best of intentions and even worse now.
I made a deal with the Prince of Devils.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So, unless anybody wants to achieve anything over the next hour or so, yes. Oh, hands go boom, boom. Yorick.
Yeah, as soon as we find out we've got an hour or so, I'd have nudged Gus, gone and sat down and had a drink with him, and just sat there chatting while working on his crossbow for an hour.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's cool.
Want to
Florian?
go? Yeah. Let me go. Mine's probably a little bit complicated.
Okay. I was just going to wander down to the Wandering Gospels and attempt to strike up conversation with the watch. Kind of going quiet night.
Sort of looks at you.
See many fish. No, just being, yes, usual annoying self.
No, we did see some bird earlier. Last night was flying around. The guy from one of the boats tried to shoot it and fell in the water. This is very funny.
You didn't try to shoot it yourself?
Oh, I was busy watching. It was good. It was very funny though. They left though shortly after. I don't know what happened. Maybe they are afraid of birds. It was large, but you know.
Large bird just means good eating.
Well, yeah, we are cats. Afraid? No, of course not. So, what brings one of your clan to the city of devils? Where is your troop?
I'll gesture expansively to the group sitting at the end of the pier.
Them?
Yes.
Interesting. So I see you have so you see how you have another treading waters. It is a different clan. I don't think I've seen a clan like this before.
I heard someone mention he's from up north. I do not know the name of his original, but would you like me to call him over and you could ask him yourself?
I mean, if he wants to come over, he can come over. I'm quite happy chatting to you. It's not very often I get to talk to a wandering ghost.
It's not very often one of your kind will speak to me politely.
It's early. Everybody else is asleep. Got to find something interesting to do. You know, and you seem very interesting.
This guy has clearly been sober all night.
Oh, yes. You get the impression that he's really, really, really bored of being on watch. And wishes anything to distract him from the boring
I was
job.
expecting to be like stoically ignored so I could, keep up with the annoyances.
No, he seems totally into having a conversation with you.
Fair enough.
So, you are traveling by caravan or you are not?
No, our boat is on the way.
You have a boat? Cool.
Well,
what is the name? I will, I may have heard of it. You have a treading waters after all. I'm guessing
I have
it's
no
his boat.
But I don't think our conversation would continue if you knew the name.
What? How ridiculous. Everybody has a name for a boat. You can tell me any name. I may even heard of the
wager?
family. The wager, you say? Okay.
A wager?
Okay, what is the wager then?
I will wager you 1 gold piece that you will in fact not speak to me anymore once you know the name of the boat.
It seems like easy money. Okay, I tell you what, we will raise that. I will put 5 gold that I will talk to you whatever the name of your boat is.
Very
And
well.
he takes out 5 gold tick, 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 onto the top of the deck. You see, I have money. I am quite happy for you to give me more of yours.
I will meet his and
Okay, so
I can't reach the boat, so I'll just put on like the rail, which I presume I'm able to reach.
yeah, that's fine.
So it will be a while before it gets here, so we can still talk for a while and you can safely hide when it arrives, but its name is the Runa Ifane.
But
And I put like my paw over my heart. And the soul of my grandmother I speak through.
now, because I am treading waters, and my word is my bond. Picks up the 5 gold and puts it next to yours on the rail and pushes them both off the boat into the water. Now, your gold is at the bottom of the sea. Go away from my boat.
Have a pleasant rest of your watch.
He just turns his back on you. As if you no longer exist to him.
Yeah. God damn it.
I mean, you can go and get the money if you want from the bottom of the...
That would involve
dock.
going into the water,
Yes, it
and
would.
we all know how Miet feels about water.
Okay, fair enough. So, Florian, you wanted to do something. Sorry, if that's
Yes.
all you wanted to do yet, are you planning on anything else? You probably are, but we'll come back to you.
A bit of a sensible question, bit of a fitty question.
One of each, or...
I'm proficient in medicine.
Okay.
So, in my mind, I know a bit about the body, how it works, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm also proficient with herbalism kits and creating like healing potions and antitoxins.
Sure.
Do I think that somehow with my knowledge in this next couple of hours whilst we wait for the Runa of Fame, that I could potentially come up with a way to determine if the 2 vials of what were picked up from the tieflings in the summoning pool full of blood would be able to match Trellador's?
Ooh. That's a bit of a stretch.
We don't have a pocket DNA tester.
No. Strange that. Well, if you wanted to, and he was agreeable, you could take some of Trellador's blood and try and compare it in some way to...
Pretty much, that's what I
stuff
wanted
that's
to
in the
try. So I was
vials.
just wanting to know if I think I could potentially do it.
I mean, it's going to be difficult because basically blood is blood as far as you're concerned. There is no... It's not like modern medicine. There is no types of blood that you know about.
No. In my head, I was just thinking, because I know I can create potions for healing and stuff like that, maybe there is something...
Yeah, that's...
whatever. I know it's a bit of a stretch, and that's why I was saying if I thought it was possible in the next couple of hours, I would attempt it.
I don't think you would know how to compare the blood. I mean, you could...
You could taste it.
You could...
I'd be positive this is Trellador's blood.
Yeah. You could possibly... There is one other person in your party that's quite good with blood. If you could enlist her help, then I'll give you a shot at it.
Okay, I'll...
It would turn from a disadvantage into a straight roll.
Okay, cool. I'd go over to Melissa. Melissa, any chance I can have your help now? Just for a bit?
Certainly. Are you alright now? Are you alright, Celeste?
Thank you.
Bit of a stretch from what I'm thinking, trying to, and that's saying something coming from me, but do you think that if we put both of our skills together, mine with medicine and yours with blood, that the vials we picked up from those tieflings downstairs, do you think we could compare them to Trelador's to see if any of those are his?
Is there any
I mean,
way that I would know how to do that?
you're fairly intimate with blood, mainly your own, to be fair. But you've looked at these wounds when they were on Florian. You've looked at the wounds on Trelador. Who was it that identified the blood on the stairs?
It was Florian.
It was Florian.
It was me.
wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Give me a medicine check. Straight roll.
From me?
No, from Florian, because it was his original. But with your assistance, it will go from a disadvantage to a not straight roll. Celeste?
I was wondering, would using detect magic be able to see if I could pinpoint Trelador's specific type of magic in the blood? Because he's somewhat magical in a weird way.
Possibly. Yeah. You've seen him do slightly magical things that you wouldn't expect him to be able to do as a person that disavows all knowledge of magic.
Well, yeah, so I did have the flump explode in my face. So.
You suspect it's some sort of inherent magical ability, which may be tied to his blood. It may be. You never know.
I can't guarantee it could work, but... Sorry, I couldn't help but overhear. If there is indeed magic in the blood, I might be able to sense it with one of my spells and maybe determine if it does come from...
Okay, well, I'll tell you what we'll do then, is if you roll the medicine check, and then what spell are you going to use?
Detect magic.
Detect magic. So if you cast that as he's doing that...
Do I need to convince Trelador to get a little bit of his blood first?
Well, that would be polite, surely.
Because Trelador is always so cooperative.
Yeah. Trelador, I don't know if you overheard any of that.
Nope.
I'm basically trying to figure out whether the vials on those tieflings from downstairs was your blood, one of them, because obviously they took some from the stairs in the inn. But to do so, I may need to just have a little bit of your fresh blood, if possible.
But blood's blood.
I think me, Celeste, and Melissa may have a way of potentially trying to figure that out, if it is yours or not. And it would mean that we know that we've got your blood back, or if your blood is somewhere else.
Would tiefling blood and elf blood are the same colour, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't see how you're going to... You know what? I'm going to do this for you, just to see how you're going to do this, because this makes no sense.
Thank you for humouring me, thank you.
Oh, well, you know, I'm glad that you're talking to me again. Even if you do want my very precious blood.
Do you mind if I just... And I'll open up my herbalism kit.
You don't really need to, I'm a bit leaky here.
Yeah. You can see Trelador it's all sort of oozed back through the bandages again.
I'll get one of like the small vials out and just kind of like collect a little bit of it. So
and as he goes to do it, I'll just go, now remember, that's incredibly precious.
I will, thank you, Trelador. So I'll basically be there with one of the vials, or both of the vials from the tieflings and Trelador's blood. So medicine check for me, yeah?
Yeah, just explain what you're going to do so that I can, base it off. Describe how you're going to compare them. Just looking at them, or are you
Yeah,
going to
no,
tip a
yeah,
little bit out and just
Yeah.
Centrifuge out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was one of my first things I was going to say. I was going to kind of swill one of the vials,
Yeah.
and then like swill the vial, swill the other ones. Just obviously it's for movement, for thickness, fluidity, everything like that.
Okay.
I then enlist Melissa, knowing a bit more about blood, to kind of help me discern, looking at colours. She's very good with red. Most of her outfits are red, so she knows different shades of
50 Shades of Red.
basically. So if there's different colours if there's slightly different colours or
All
whatever,
her
you know what I mean?
outfits are red. Really, that's
Mostly.
that's
Come on.
technical issue.
This one's more taupe, where this one's far more mauve.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I'd
All
enlist Melissa's help with that, and then
Okay.
obviously waiting for Celeste
So
to then do
make
her
your
detect
medicine
magic.
check.
I am glad that my closest friend and confidant doesn't consider me incredibly shallow.
You may want to rethink that.
Oh, that's a really good roll. That's a natural 18 for 24.
24. Nice. Hold that thought. So, your detect magic poof, goes off. It's strange, Florian. You're looking at these two vials of blood, and Melissa's pointing out that what she knows about blood. So, again, thickness, the coagulation, the fact that this first ones in these vials may be significantly older than the one you've just taken off Tralador. But as far as you can tell, they act very similarly, if not the same. But when they detect magic appears, it all seems to slightly glitter, as if it's got glitter in the blood. And Celeste, you're concentrating on these vials of blood, and you can see it's slightly magical. There is a dark, almost necromantic style about this blood. It's very strange. Not something you've come across very often in life, necromantic magic. But there's something about it, and you get a very sort of devilish taste to it. Melissa, the smell is that of devils, and it reminds you of when you were in the hells, that slightly sulfuric tang to it, as well as all the metals that you associate with the blood smell. So yeah, you would suggest, or that would suggest, that this is the same blood in these vials that is in Tralador. Or
Both
certainly
of them.
both vials.
Fuck.
And obviously the blood that's coming out of Tralador is, you would suggest, the same. It's weird, Celeste, when you cast Detect Magic on Florian ages ago, you got a sense of magic having been applied, not being there. But now, in this blood, there is a distinct residue of necromancy.
Can both of y'all see that?
These samples are from the same place, but there's necrotic magic about it, and I don't quite understand.
I can smell the... Remember when we were in the hells? That one time? You can smell the sulfur in the blood.
They got a lot more of his blood than I thought they did. Lucky we got this back.
You can see how much he bleeds.
Oh, he didn't nearly pass out on the stairs.
There was a
from
lot of
losing
blood
so
on the
much blood.
stairs.
And who's to say that was all the only place they got it? Could have taken it from the chair or that side.
I'll
Yeah.
saunter over there. So, what did you find, Florian?
It's definitely your blood, Trello.
Yes.
I'd like you to be a little bit more concerned about this.
There's not much I can do about it.
Well, I mean, be lucky that we got it back, because we know that for whatever to bring her back, they needed blood. It was just blood. And we
Oh.
have it now, so they don't have that piece of the puzzle. But
Are we sure this is it?
as what? As in, it's your blood?
No, that is this. Are we sure this is the only blood that they're taken?
I mean,
As far as we know.
as far as we know. But Celestis has said that she, like, the magic lingers in your blood where it didn't really in mine when I had everything going on.
It's almost like yours was an echo of the magic that was there, whereas Trellador's seems present.
I don't know if that's something to do with what Rior's done. I don't know. But
Yeah,
It's probably me, to be fair.
It may have been the recent attack. I mean, we're not sure what happened to Trellador, but
Detect magic lasts for 10 minutes. Can I just take a good look at Trellador?
Sure. You take a look at Trellador. You can see the divine magic picking off his axe. You can see there's a sort of, again, a sense of the divine about Trellador. But no necrotic magic, certainly no necromantic magic. Even looking at his blood that's on his shirt, it doesn't give you that same vibe. It's very weird.
But the sample that Florian just got is also giving off the necrotic vibes.
Absolutely.
just because he's taken Celeste doesn't mean he's any more available. Okay, stop looking at him like that.
What?
No, like I said, he's the blood is giving me necrotic magic in it, but even the blood on his shirt, while he's standing right here in front of me, it's not. Somehow being taken from him makes it necrotic.
Have you put it in a necrotic vial by any chance?
No,
you can have inspiration for that comment, Vinny.
I've already got it. It's
well, your previous one evaporates mysteriously. And you get
okay, I get that. That's the thing, though. I think when we were in the hells and you carried me out of that room, Trellador, the one thing that was said, it was that it didn't matter about my body. It was just the blood that was needed. So maybe it being separate from the body, what she meant all along. Maybe it literally is just the blood, which alone is magic and the key.
Suspect that the nature of Trellador taking this from you, and the fact that he is the chosen of Reorgs.
Champ, I believe.
Apologies. Champion of Reorgs, I think, is to play here. I imagine that whatever protections Reorgs is offering Trellador is counteracting the magic in the blood, and it only starts to become a problem when it's taken away.
Can I very gently touch a little part of the top of his chest?
I mean, you should be asking me.
May I?
What?
I just want to see something.
What?
With how long it takes for your blood to become necrotic when it's taken away from your body.
I mean, perhaps you're just ignoring the obvious here. If she needs the blood cannot dry up, and it cannot, because if it is given time, it will dry up and it will flake away. Perhaps whatever is carved in this chest is keeping the blood in a liquid state or an undead state until such time as it's collected.
Well,
Very good
I would
point.
suggest that's mostly on track. It's
I mean, that is
constantly
probably
bleeding.
very,
But
very simplistic way of saying it, but
would suggest that I think this is York's work that's it's either that or it's disguised.
I'm just gonna nick my fingertip, just to make it bleed a bit.
Okay.
Be like, you definitely don't get anything from this, and I'll sort of like just press it onto sort of like the key heading,
Okay.
like let it drip, and you definitely don't get anything from that anymore. Celeste.
You look at it. It's blood.
It's not bringing up anything. It's distinctly non-magical.
It's all mine.
I think you can keep your fluids to yourself, Gus.
All right.
I mean, this doesn't really change anything. We know my blood is special. They want the special blood. We got the special blood back. Apparently.
Yeah, as far as we know, but it gives us, well, no advantage, but again, more information than we had before.
Well, I'm glad to know that there's only one of you carrying the curse.
I mean, it's a heavy burden to bear, but I do it with such grace and stoicism.
Yorick, you remember that story your granny told us once about if you get bitten by a werewolf or drink their blood, you turn into a werewolf? I wonder if we drink his blood, we'll turn into a werewolf.
No.
That's odd. Maybe I don't know.
Well, he's turning into a dwarf, so maybe we get pointy ears.
Wait, what? I'm not turning into a...
He's turning into a dwarf because that's what Reorx wants.
What? No, I'm growing this beard for, fashion reasons.
Is it just me, or is he looking a bit shorter?
He does look a bit nearer to the ground, doesn't he?
Yeah. Maybe that's just the beard getting closer to the ground.
Maybe.
I'm sure you're fine, mate.
Tell you what, make an insight check, Yorick and Gus.
Okay.
send your message, Chaz.
Oh, okay.
I'm a bit drunk.
13.
2 for 1.
You got 1 and
13.
13. I mean, maybe it's just the beers, Gus, but you swear his ears aren't quite as pointy as they used to be.
Ooh.
Yorick, you see, apart from the big, starting to get really quite bushy and almost dwarven-like beard, it's like a 12-year-old's beard now. 12-year-old dwarf. You don't see any changes. But Gus, round ears. For sure.
See, look, Yorick. The pointy bits on his ears are getting rounder. Like normal ears.
You know that's not a whisper, we can still hear you.
What? I didn't say anything.
After we've discerned this and had this conversation, Chaz, I think I'll just, if I can, take a short rest before the boat.
Absolutely. You can all have a short rest, if you so desire. And just at the end of your short rest, you can see the now familiar shape of the Runit Fane gliding into port. Miet, the watchman who had turned his back on you, looking out into the entrance to the port, suddenly you can see his hands just ball into fists, and he sort of turns away from the Rune Fane. Are you still standing there?
I kind of would have moved back somewhat towards the group, but kind of watching him as well.
Yeah,
Because
so you see him turn around, sort of turn his back on the Rune Fane, spot you lot, try and turn his back, and just
oh, see now, yes, I can shine because as far as I'm assuming the L-shaped dock allows,
Yeah.
if she walks away from the party, kind of
yeah.
trap between the Rune Fane and the rest of the party and me,
just
kind of going,
trying
hi.
to find somewhere to look where he can't see any of this happening, and failing. And eventually,
Well,
after a few minutes, he just gives up and goes down below decks. So,
Part of me was tempted to turn into a big bird, pick him up, and drop him in the water, but
a bit late now. But yeah, that would have been funny. You see, the Rune Fane glides in and sort of turns side on to the dock.
Sorry, did you call it the Uber of Faith?
No, but you did.
It's now called the Uber of Fane, isn't it?
Alan.
No, it's not.
Surge charging, from the water as well.
The Rune Fane docks so that you may all get onto it, apart from those that are calling it an Uber. So, your boat is here, Snow.
So he would sort of get up from his cross-legged position and just let the little cyclone of water that he was sort of messing with just drop away. And then sort of step onto his ship and just slowly run his paw along the side of the ship.
Feels comforting. You get that swirling sense once more that you're where you are meant to be on your ship, on the Peladas's ship.
Yeah.
You are his prophet. So, the rest of you boarding the ship?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reluctantly.
carefully.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
carefully.
once you're all on board the ship, what is your command, Snow? What are you up to? Where are you going?
So Snow would go up to the he's got the second pendant, so we'd put one in the seat by the rudder.
Okay.
And then he would take the forward position where Cloud's used to. So he's going to stand right upon the prow and in a very sort of like Titanic-esque motion.
Okay.
You just see him sort of push forward with
The Fane starts to drift forward. If you directing it back out of the port onto the river?
Yeah.
Okay. So coming out of the port, you can turn to your right, which will take you to open sea. Or you can turn to your left, which will take you to open sea. Turn to your right, which will take you back up the river northwards.
Okay. And as we're leaving, he would use he would let the sort of guide it onto the path and just let it glide, and he'd turn to the other boat that's in the dock and call over to them using thaumaturgy and shout, "Rejoice, brothers and sisters! The Lord of the Waters has returned."
Okay. Yeah, there are muffled shouts of "Look off! Get away! Get away!" They are not engaging with you. They do not wish to see or be seen by you.
In that case, Snow would quickly call to Peladas and try and manipulate the water just to shake them in the dock, just to take the piss a little bit.
Make me a religion check real quick.
15.
15. Yeah, there's not a lot of your energy is concentrated on moving the ship itself.
Yeah.
There is a small surge of water towards the other boat that sort of rocks it, but not enough to cause them damage or anything. But it does rock the boat in a way that they wouldn't have been expecting.
And then he would just turn back to where we're going and sort of again start to just push out, and you'd see sort of a slight pulse, a very slow sort of rhythmic pulse from the amulet as he's doing this.
So you're now concentrating on that. Which way are you going? Go out open sea or river?
Well, I'd be pushing us down towards the junction, and then
Right. So up.
I'd be
river
relying on
to
I'd be
north.
relying on
Okay.
somebody to tell me where we're going.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
this is my next question. Where are we going then, people? Silat or further north?
I go to Silat. I think we should only spend a short time there. The library could be useful to us, but it may still be too close to Lork's camp.
We could always look for another secret passage.
Well,
I
if
think-
anyone can find them, it would be you, Gus.
I think Silat is going to be useful for the library, but it's going to be a quick in and out rather than stay for a party and then
Okay.
shit happens.
So to save, nothing happening for lots of hours, we can skip ahead to the junction of the river. So again, if you turn right, you would go back towards the Midwood, or if you turn left, it would go sort of curving upwards to another junction. So you could be going almost directly towards the Makabar Hills. And a junction would take you again right to towards the Daghold Mountains and left to Silat. So first junction, Midwood or the Northern River?
I vote for Northern River.
Question, because I'm looking at the map at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Did we take the boat onto the river rather than onto the coastline?
Yes, on the river.
Okay.
That's what was said.
Okay,
I
no, just
wasn't told any different, so
no, my mistake then.
I did ask, and I was told the river. So
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I say left towards more Northern River rather than back to Midwood.
so again, you get to this junction. The water flows. It's been a couple of hours. You start to move quite quickly now as the bigger river. The current seems to change. Now, normally it would be flowing down towards Dornham, towards the sea. Strangely, the river is pushing you more quickly along, and then you curve round to go northwards again. And the countryside, again, is fields, rich, lush pastures. There's lots of crops here. It's a very rich-looking countryside. And you can see in the distance people working the land. There are carts full of produce.
How long have we been travelling?
I would say by now about 4 or 5 hours. So about midday.
I would, after about 3 hours, I want to keep an eye on Snow.
Okay.
Like, how is he reacting to being in control for this long?
Make,
After he said that he could only do sort of short trips.
Make perception or insight, your choice.
Can I help that? Because I was going to ask that as well.
Sure.
On the 5
Then
hour mark.
you can have advantage on either of those as Florian is helping you.
I'd like to have fallen asleep in the bottom of the boat and just be snoring away.
Perfect.
14.
14. I mean, it's difficult to tell because last time he just looked completely normal until he keeled over. But let's see, you've been 6, 9. So I'll say it's about 2 in the afternoon. So he's been going for 3, 5 hours. As you left about 9ish, got to the docks about 6ish. You had to wait a few hours with all the blood work and stuff. It takes a while, pathology.
But we haven't had a long rest or anything.
No,
Probably
you had a
getting-
short rest, but no long rest yet. Yeah, he kind of looks the same as he always does. He's got his eyes open, although it doesn't seem to be registering in any of you. And that blue pulse goes from a sort of dark blue, deep ocean blue to a paler, rushing, almost white-topped wave, and then back again through down to dark blue.
So when we head onto the Northern Fork to head into the Northern River, it's flowing with us now.
It is because you're controlling it through
Right.
Peladas.
Yeah.
If you were to let go of that control, it would be against you. You would have to manually move the ship. But you can do that. You can certainly do that. Let the sail down and get some wind behind you. Shouldn't be a problem.
So once we're comfortably into the northern channel, I'll sort of release my hold on the ship.
Okay.
And then I'll start calling out, essentially calling out orders to everybody.
Okay.
That we need to put the sail down, we need to get the wind with us, because I need to rest.
Okay. So, who are you talking to specifically? Because they will need to make survival checks.
To call the sail down, I'll call to Yorick and Trellador to pull the sails down.
Okay,
And tie the ropes off for me.
I'll just stare at him for, what?
If you're going to do that, then you need to make survival checks. It's entirely up to you. You don't have to do it.
I suppose I could help.
Yeah.
But I really don't know what I'm doing, so I'll sort of lag behind Yorick.
I'll call to Florian. Florian, please take the rudder and keep us on course.
Certainly.
Miet, if you can go up on top, keep watch.
Captain.
And Melissa, if you could do the same at the prow. And Celeste, if you keep an eye on Florian and then take it in turns. Ship of this size may be difficult to control for one person. And then I'll keep an eye on Trellador and just make sure that he's tying everything off properly.
Okay, so how did your survival checks go, chaps?
I've got 22.
22, nice.
Oh, good. Well, 16.
16, yeah, not bad. Under instruction, you've been told what you need to do. Trellador seems to just get it. So you just find yourself just looking occasionally over at Trellador and, all right, yeah, that's fair enough. And with your skill at manipulating materials, it's not that difficult.
I'll probably say to Yorick, I see why they put the simple folk on the boat.
I've been literally stood next to him. I just cuff him up the back of the head.
It's a joke. You should know my humour by now, Snow.
Okay. Florian, Celeste, it's going to be, now that the sails are taken hold, you're going to need a strength check to keep the rudder in the correct place. So, a pair of you combined, you could do it one each, or one of you can have advantage.
You can have advantage.
This is going to go so well.
You ordered the 2 bean poles. The 2 willowy bean poles.
So with advantage is 14.
14. That's not too bad. It's hard work, but you manage with Celeste's help to sort of, a pair of you sort of hanging onto the rudder, trying to stop it from moving to stay on course. I would like a perception check from Miet and Celeste, please.
Melissa.
Sorry, yes. Miet and Melissa. Sorry, I apologise. Gus, snoring check, please. So, sorry. Miet, would you get?
23.
23. And Melissa?
7.
7. You don't know what it is, Melissa, but it's just, maybe it's the motion of the boat under sail. You can't find it very difficult to concentrate on sort of the fields and stuff going by. There's just fields. There's nothing really to look at. Yet, from your high vantage point, you can see the land stretching out on all sides. And you can see the people working, and you can see actually on the river banks, there look to be like grain stores and small docks where a single boat can dock in, load up and dock out again. But there seem to be quite a few of these coming up in this basically rich farmlands that I've got here. You can see that why all the trade goes by the rivers. There are no roads. Literally everything is taken to the river, loaded on boats. And you can see there are other boats up ahead doing just that. But nothing particularly frightening or scary, just normal day-to-day life is happening.
Are you two doing okay?
But it's going fine. I'm just thinking maybe we should all take a rest at some point. We've been on the go for quite a while.
It's probably a good idea. But if we're going to rest, then perhaps we should do it in shifts, or we stop completely.
I think stopping completely would probably be better, in my opinion. But everybody else chime in if you need to. But
Well, if you get tired or you need help, I'm sure our big strapping elf friend here will help you.
Dwelf, as he's known. Yeah.
I am not
Well,
sure that I am well suited for this. It requires strength that I do not have.
And with very cat-like intrigue, I'm going to be looking at Trelador's beard, and then I'm just going to have this overwhelming urge to just start scritching the beard.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
My brother's cat does that too.
11.
11. Yeah.
No comment from Florian about that one?
It's just ting, 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 ting. Claws come out. You just through Trelador's beard.
I'm just staring at Snow like, what? What are you doing?
He's not even focusing on your face. He's
No.
literally focused on the beard and just scritching the beard.
Okay, Snow needs some sleep. We're gonna stop here. Snow's had enough boat time one day.
Okay. Snow, if you want to look for somewhere to put in to have a long rest, make me a survival or a survival check. That's fine. We can do that.
Okay. 25.
25. Okie dokie. Yeah, easy enough. You spot there are a few sort of overnight halts on the stretch of river, much as there are in the northern rivers that you're used to, where boats can pull in on their way to wherever they're going. So you pull in, you get tied up. You going off the boat at all, anybody, or are you staying on the boat over?
Off the boat.
Say 5 o'clock in the evening.
I'm still asleep under a bench.
In that case, you could have a long rest.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you've done
Before
nothing
I-
for the last 8 hours.
True.
Before I rest, I want to have a quick chat with Yorick.
Okay.
Gather firewood.
Okay.
Make fire. Cook dinner.
Fine. Easy enough. Gather firewood. Yorick, Trelador, you're having a conversation?
Yeah, I'll find Yorick at some point. Just, I have a question for you. It's religious.
Well,
Did you
I'm your man.
have to make a deal?
A deal with Reorx?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I suppose if I were to have had to make a deal, it would have been, just loyalty and devotion, which I give to him freely anyway. So
Well, you've been shortchanged there.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I have a hypothetical question.
Okay.
So, if, for example, I had made a deal with Brooks for power in exchange for doing something we don't need, and then that thing was no longer valid, like what I said no longer applies because of a thing that might have happened on a certain night out.
Can you speak more specifically, please? Because I'm struggling to keep up here.
No.
Okay.
If the terms of the deal has changed, do I still have my power if the thing or person or object that I said that I would look after has changed?
Make an insight check, Yorick. See if you can understand what the fuck he's on about.
Yeah, it's one of my pet rolls of the night. 20.
20. Yeah, he's talking about Florian.
Yeah. Right. So the original deal that you made, don't forget that. I don't know if you know actually. Reorx lets me listen in to most of your conversations with him. That's part of the perks that I get.
But I don't hear your conversations with him.
Nope.
Why?
What's the... You're not on a high enough pay grade or something. There are multi levels to this marketing scheme, you know.
You don't have privileges.
I would think champion's pretty high, but okay.
Yeah, but it's like everyone's an executive or an engineer now. It's meaningless, isn't it?
That's how these Ponzi schemes get you.
Right, so as far as I understand, if I can piece this all together, you and part of your deal with Reorx was to do with Florian, and now you think you've fucked that up and you're no
Well,
longer...
I don't think I fucked it up. I think Florian might have changed how I feel about them.
Right. So you took on this really big step in taking that curse for Florian.
Well, for the group, I'm a team player. You're...
And now you're regretting that.
Not regretting it, because I'm quite important to you all now, aren't I? Because I've got... But I'm not regretting it. I'm just worried that Reorx will now go because the terms of the deal may have changed because of what I, or probably Florian, has said.
You're worried about him abandoning you. You're not trying to get out of it yourself.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, but you don't have to say it again.
Okay, well, I come back to the first thing that I said for this conversation, that my loyalty and devotion that he's given freely to Reorx gets me what you might consider to be power. So as long as you continue to be a loyal servant of him, he will not abandon you.
And it's not dependent on Florian.
No.
This is all hypothetical.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
No worries, Chief.
Has anyone ever seen the film called The Voices?
I don't believe I have.
Dan has reminded me of the main character there, where basically he's a mass murderer but sees everything as if it's fucking pristine, clean, and fucking butt
that's
plugs lying around
Reynolds
everywhere. It's never his fault.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I've
I
seen
need to
that.
watch that. Anyway, getting back to the D&D. What we will do is have to take a little break. And let us discuss the voices, apparently, because that's what we do on this particular evening. So, we will be right back when you're setting up your camp, taking your watches, etc. Maybe even waking Gus up for, a watch. Who knows? We will be right back. welcome back. Our party have summoned the Rune Fane. Pissed off a boatload of treading waters and are currently anchored or moored up the side of the river going north towards the Macabar Hills with taking a rest. So let's join them on board. Now I know Miette has gone off the ship to gather firewood, set a fire, cook some dinner. I'm assuming, although forgive me if I'm wrong, that Snow is staying on board. Anybody else staying on board, or who's going where? Let's go around the room. So, Gus is having
You're muted, James.
Gus is speaking to us in tongues.
Still asleep underneath a bench.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll probably get off and help Miette.
Okay.
Be there. She's not knowing.
Florian and Miette are off the ship. Celeste, what are you up to?
I will get off the boat. And is there any trees nearby, or is it just fields
It
still?
is literally just farmlands. There's a large building about 3/4 of a mile away to the north, where there are some other sort of outbuildings, and there's a huge haystack, but no trees currently.
Okay.
There are some sort of scrub bushes sort of dotted about this close to the river, but once you get like about 100 feet away from the river, there's a sort of wall of bushes, and then it's all farmland.
Okay. I will get off and just sort of find somewhere to sit for the time being.
Okay. Gus is asleep. Florian's helping Miette. Melissa.
I'm gonna step off the boat, just kind of stretch my legs a little bit, and kind of sit and contemplate everything for a bit.
Okay.
Wait for everyone to come back and convene at the camp.
Okay. Trelador?
I'll stay on the boat. I'm gonna wait until snowfall to do something.
Okay. And Yorick.
I'd have curled up somewhere to go to sleep. On the boat still, probably.
Okay. So, I'm presuming this is after you've all eaten from Miette's preparations that she made as soon as she could get off the boat.
Yeah, I'd like to do something after we've eaten and everyone's going to sleep before I go to sleep as well. If I don't take first watch, too.
Yeah, so my next question was going to be who's taking a watch, but if you want to do something before the watches are set, then go right ahead, Florian.
Yeah, so I'll still be there, like Miette, sat in front.
He's gone. We've lost him.
He was doing so well.
He was. We were so proud, but we've just lost him. Oh well. So
there is something I'd like to do before
Celeste?
Melissa,
Mm-hmm.
who has the book from the secret passageway? Do you know?
Oh, I think Snow took it and gave it to Yorick. I didn't really keep track of it because, as I said, I didn't want to take it particularly.
Okay, thank you. And then I'll go over to Yorick.
Yorick's still on the boat, I believe. Because after the meal, he just zipped back up onto the boat and just went to sleep. You'll probably find him somewhere near Gus, at the bottom of the boat.
You're Rick. Oh. Another time then.
Okay.
I'm going to do something, but I need to wait for Florian to be back.
Yeah, let's... Okay. Well, until he gets back, let's decide who's going to take first watch. And I think he mentioned that he wanted to take first watch, so Snow's going to take first watch as well.
Yeah, I've got something I want to do before I go to sleep as well.
Okay. Well, it kind of all hinges on Florian getting back, doesn't it, really? Seeing as we were just about to launch into something he wanted to do. Oh, that's a good sign.
Ooh. His camera's turned off.
Yep.
Just join back.
May mean he's on the way back. Yay, he's back. Okay, so just where we left off, Florian, you were about to do
Yeah.
something.
But I was going to go, forgive me, mate, but just give me a few minutes. I just want to check some. And I'm going to sort of like just sit there, legs crossed, go into sort of like a meditation state. And I'm going to reach out for Dakota, which I haven't done in a long time, to see if I still have that connection with her, and to see if I can see if she's still with.
Roll me a d20.
Oh, you a d20. Let's roll that one, shall we?
I don't mind which one you roll.
15.
15. You sit, you go into your meditation that you've done daily since you can remember. You reach for that special bond that you have with Dakota. And you can just on the edge of your senses, just as you reach in, you can feel her. She's still somewhere that she really doesn't want to be. She's still in danger. She's still in pain. She doesn't seem to be able to reach out to you, but you can sense her in danger.
Okay, so that brings me along to a question with that answer. Does it feel like a different connection as opposed to when I had the
does
the
seem
scars
to
and the
be
magic?
more difficult to reach her than it was.
Okay, but she's still somewhere she doesn't want to be.
Absolutely. You don't think her situation has changed. It's your situation that's changed.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll just see me sort of like kind of exhale, come to again. Sorry, just testing something out.
And how is she?
I think she's still there. Her situation hasn't changed. Mine has, but her part in it hasn't changed, and I'm not entirely sure mine has either. Just because I don't have what she needs doesn't mean I'm not useful. Just gonna go head back to the boat, and actually from where I am, can I see if Trellador's asleep or not?
Trellador, have you disappeared to your meditation?
Yeah, I'll just be sort of meditating on the deck. Trance.
Okay.
But I can see that he's in his...
Yeah, you can see that he's in that normal sort of elf state that they go into. You're used to it by now.
I'll probably take the first watch with you if that's alright, mate, and I'll wake Trellador up just to have
It was Snow that was taking the first watch.
Oh, okay, I missed that bit then, sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll stay awake as well then.
Before we launch into the rest, whoever's still awake, hopefully Florian and Celeste.
I'd be meditating because I literally down to one spell slot, and
so literally the only people awake currently are Miette, Florian, yourself, and Snow.
And I will be banking the fire and doing that light cat doze thing shortly.
Yeah, Miette's preparing to take her rest. So,
Florian, yeah, I just wanted to mention something to y'all before we go to rest. I was going to mention it on the boat, but just got a bit swept up in the scenery. When Celeste had me check through the book for other names, I didn't find anything. I did find something interesting, but I didn't tell her at first. Where we found Lorx's name. I know the full name now. Did some more reading. Harrowlorx. Is his full name.
And it's the type of name that it's fine to pronounce out loud.
I wouldn't be if I didn't feel safe saying it. Especially since I've said it earlier. However, there's definitely something strange going on with him and Fiona. It's very difficult to translate. The Infernal's a bit old, I would assume. But it mentions a deal he made with Fiona. Because he's given an epithet of the Undying, which I think might explain the discrepancy in time. But that deal comes with a prophecy. And I think we might have just found why Celeste came to this time specifically, and why Lorx is so desperate to get her back. It's spotty, but it mentions that this year, 476, is the end of that deal. And if Lorx doesn't uphold his half of the bargain, then Fiona's gonna claim what is hers, supposedly. And it mentions a chosen, which I'm assuming might be Celeste.
That's
So
all.
Celeste is the bride he has to offer up to continue his deal.
I think so. Either that or he has to help deal with the summoning.
So, but if he doesn't hold up his end of the bargain, she comes.
She'll claim what is hers. There's no guarantee that it will come out if the bargain's not upheld. I think it's more akin to what Balaam does.
So me, Dakota, Trelador, potentially his sister, are the backup plan to get her to this world.
I think that Fiona's plot is a separate thing that Lorx is now indebted to, because I think he's desperate to keep this deal and gift.
But the trickster can move between realms at will. We know for the moment Fiona is trapped in the hell. She cannot access this realm, so how will she come to Lork to reclaim what is hers? Would it not be in his best interest to make sure that this summoning does not happen?
Remember what Remora told us about after death? Our souls go to where we believe we should go. Magic probably interferes with that, and I have my own misgivings about all of that, but what I'm saying is that this power gets shut off, Lorx dies, he is trapped in the hells.
And it's not that she can't make it to this realm yet. I think she's can embody certain things to be here, but not in full power. The flame monster from the hells?
Yeah, the tiny imps we encountered. There's a lot going on. And yeah.
But that's really good. That's like, we kind of know what the end goal is without knowing what it is. So we know that there's potentially a way to stop it.
We know what Lorx's goals are, and we know what his end game is. And why he's doing it.
We think we know what these are. My attempts to gather information did not exactly play out.
It's definitely to do with Celeste. He wouldn't have been pushing so hard to get her back.
Oh, I'm not saying she's not important. I'm just saying that we should exercise caution in assuming we know what a devil's goals are.
Yeah, definitely.
Whilst it is difficult, they can be predictable. It's kind of the thing with devils. They have rules that they stick to. They just don't line up with our own morality.
So
Everything's consistent.
when we get to Salon and we spend as little time but as much as we need in the library, maybe, Melissa, you know what you're looking for, so if you can maybe look on blood magics a little bit more.
I feel like we're not going to find anything. Salot Library.
It's more credible, though, than Dorman's library, though, isn't it? It's...
I think we'd need to go to Drummond. To the Elven City. If anyone's got true history that isn't just, oh, the gods are all fake and there's nothing happened in our past. The longest lived people in this world, outside of, obviously, Madame Miette's clans and traditions and stories. I feel like the Elven histories would be the best place to check. They live the longest.
On places to check and everything, I don't suppose either of you know the best way, or the quickest way, what you may know, apart from us going there, is to potentially get in contact with my mother and father.
They lived on the peninsula, didn't they?
I
other side of the
don't
Great
exactly know where my mother went. She left with Dakota when we were young, but I definitely left my father in. I thought I remembered it. I completely haven't.
That's... You came from Larkham way, didn't you?
Ish. It was a
Sounds
small
I am
village.
Benfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last I knew, he was in Benfield, where I left him. But the only reason I say that is that my mother more so, but they told me stories about, well, I'm not going to say his name, but you know who. Like we met in there, and if they had stories about him, maybe there's something a bit more. I mean, I know my mother was quite the accomplished healer, so magic is, I don't know, but I'm just thinking maybe it's something we can reach out to if they know something about this.
In that part of the world again, then perhaps.
Or you could send a letter to the next trading post to Larkham. Come on. To contact our friends there. Or friend.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sure that as an ex-adventurer he wouldn't object to taking a small trip outside of Larkham to see what could be found.
Maybe I'll do that then. Thank you. Thank you all.
It feels like we need to take action. But I don't know what that action is.
Neither do I.
We
have to reload again.
Knowledge is useful. But I just feel like the satellite library is going to be more of the same.
Potentially, but also don't forget what I said down in the summoning room. That well could be quite useful, because if we know a little bit more about it, we may not be in 476 for anything to happen. That prophecy then does not come true.
To use the well because we don't fully understand it. And again, I point out, much like the book, I was against taking it.
Yeah, but
But
we know there's a definite way to use it, otherwise
we
Vale
don't.
would not have done.
We were jumping randomly.
Yeah, we don't know how to use it, but we know there's a certain way to use it. Otherwise,
There
Vale
is,
would not have used it.
But it would take some intense study or foreknowledge, which sure Vale has.
Indeed, but I'll take the first watch with Snow. He's up on deck. I'm out here with Miette. You two get some sleep. We need some rest.
I think I need to sleep just to get my head in order.
Okay, so conversation's done. Unless there's anything else anyone wants to do. No? Okay.
I've already messaged my stuff.
Yeah. Snow?
Yeah, so I'm going to sit up on top and I'm going to try and reach for Peladas again because having the ship named what it is kind of hindering his ability to spread the good word. So Snow has a suggestion for a slight change to the name of the ship.
Okay, so make a quick religion check.
Uber refrain. Brilliant change.
No. 21.
21. You reach out.
You're just not
The hold the pendant, and the rushing noise of the waters enters your mind, and you can feel the presence of Peladas. He hasn't said anything yet, but you know he's there.
Snow would also have one hand on the pendant, one hand on the boat itself, because he would be channeling the boat itself, because it is a piece of Peladas.
Sure.
And then he cock his head to one side when he could feel him there. It has been a while since I've been able to reach you.
So, you are back on the water.
Finally.
Excellent. And how many new followers do we have? There must be hundreds by now.
Unfortunately not, because every time somebody sees this boat, because of the stories that people have been told.
You don't like the boat.
No,
Very
I love
well. The boat shall be gone.
No, I love the boat.
You and Trelador and both the dwarves end up in the water. A rude awakening.
Yeah.
Florian, you see like the boat just and these foot splash into the water.
I was just going to say we could always rename the boat, and this would remove the negative.
You are funny. Okay, let me give you a better boat, one that is not so recognizable, shall we say?
Oh, now I am intrigued.
Stay close to the river. It will be with you by the dawn. I send it upon the tide.
You are most generous, my lord.
But remember, you have to tell everyone. Everyone must know I am here. I am back to my power. More believers.
Whenever we reach dock, I will call the good word.
Excellent. And your companions, make them believers too. Give them gold necklaces. They must channel my power.
Of course.
Good. You are good. Yeah, I always knew you would be my favorite.
There is one question I do have, though.
Ask away.
We have located a book describing your brothers and sisters. And I have a specific question about your twin. What is her connection to Fienna?
Have no twin.
According to the book, you
there
have a
is
twin.
No twin. Do not vex me. I am your god. You believe in me.
I do. But
Excellent.
if somebody is supporting Fierna,
I know not of Fiona.
then are you also aware of the dragons awakening and attacking the dwarves in the mountains?
No dragons. Dragons are easy fodder. Get the dwarfs to sort them out. They always
Well,
have before.
It would seem that the Riox is trying to assist them, but they are quite stretched. Perhaps you could demonstrate your mastery.
You want me to go to the mountains?
It could be fun.
I don't recall the arrangement that we have as being you telling me where I go, what I do. I am the Lord of the Waters. Where there is water, there is where I am. You are supposed to be gathering followers. I see no followers. I see one less follower than I had.
Well,
So,
but if you-
your job, if you still wish to be the champion, the call, the voice of Peladas, this, I suspect, what you will need to do is do as you are bidden. Now, do as you are bidden. The crashing waters recede out of your mind.
Are we just floundering around the water?
Yes, all four of you just like in the semi-darkness now.
That was certainly a rude awakening.
Yep.
Snow fall asleep. Does the boat go when he falls asleep? No, no, this one.
The three of them will just feel a light current, which will push them into the.
Pushed back into the reed bank and up, and then the water recedes back to its normal level, and you're all all four of you are now on the bank, dripping wet.
I was having a lovely dream, and then I got all wet.
Hmm.
No, it wasn't a wet dream before you say anything, Yorick.
Oh, I know. I was going to say. I thought I'd piss myself for a minute, and then. Oh.
You weren't even to your bat yet.
I mean, because I kind of feel bad for them. Well, I kind of feel bad for them, but I kind of don't. I'll use shape water to try and pull as much of the water out of their clothing as I can.
So you're now merely damp rather than absolutely wringing wet.
Someone
So
going to tell me what's going on?
There goes Fiddy again.
I'm quite sorry about that. That was a little bit of a misunderstanding between me and the boss.
Well, your boss.
That's what I said. The boss.
Your boss.
That's what I said.
Quite unpredictable, isn't he?
I mean, no more unpredictable than you or, your friend.
So did you make the boat go away, or did you annoy him?
No. He made it go, and he will be sending something else, less recognizable, and it should be with us by the dawn.
So we're back on to being on the dock.
I mean, at the moment, yes.
Excellent.
Well, you can see the banked fire not far from where you are, and the standing shape of Florian, and some other sleeping shapes that you know to be your companions.
Yeah, Snow doesn't really give a shit that he's wet, so he'll literally just flop down cross-legged, and he'll have sort of the amulet between his paws.
Okay. You can see that the waters in the amulet are circling really rapidly at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to go away from the group and look back at Snow and turn around again. And I'm going to try and contact.
Okay. Make a religion.
As you
check.
look at him, like in time with Snow's breathing, you'll see sort of like a small amount of water go out and then back in, and out and back in.
I'm going to rip my beard and walk to the fire and sit down and dry out.
Fair enough.
19.
19. There's a fairly long interval before the familiar voice of Riox. Ah! Hey, Torador! And Yorick as well. Hi. How we doing, boys? We good?
Oh, yeah, you can hear this, can't you? Forgot about
Oh, I can hear everything.
I think you mean
Okay.
me. I can hear when he talks to you.
Oh, you told him? Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, we might need to talk about my access at some point, but that's for another
Your
time.
axes. Have you got more than one now? Yorick, you've been very busy.
Okay.
I have a request, if that's not too
fire away.
impolite. That protection thing that we do, you do.
Aye.
Maybe you could keep an eye on Snow tonight.
Snow. He's got his own
Yes,
protection,
but he's got.
does he not? No, look.
He's a bit unreliable.
No,
God.
wait. Look, Paladas is insane, but Snow is a worshipper of Paladas, so that's between them. I am not getting involved in that. If you want to look out for him, that's great. And I will assist you in my normal manner.
I mean,
I am not stepping on Paladas's toes with his one single worshipper. I have many, many people to think about.
okay. I understand why you don't want to help.
Aye, good.
Okay, I'll let you get. Oh, one more question.
Oh, champions, eh?
Stop bothering him, Trellador.
This
No,
is
no,
important.
it's no bother. Come
This is
on,
important.
I'm sure it's vital to the well-being of the entire universe.
What do you think of the beard?
Where? Oh, your beard. I thought you said beer. I was just having a drink, you see. So, your beard. I like it. It's good, suits you. Probably ought to do something about those ears, though.
My ears are fine, thank you.
Oh,
You can go.
oh, okay.
You can go now.
I'm sorry. What
I
did
mean,
you
if
say?
you want to. You said you were busy.
Thought so. Okay, right. Well, good luck. The presence vanishes from you. Yorick, it's me. I'm still here.
Hey.
It's all right. He can't hear us.
Okay, good.
Are you well, son?
Yeah, I'm great.
So you're heading up to the mountains, yes?
I think so, maybe.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
There's quite some stuff happening up there. There's a lot of refugees coming down from the mountains to the Makaba Hills, so that's it's probably the safest way to go at the moment, because obviously it's complicated. There's a long story, but if you do happen to pick anybody up when you're up there, just be nice. I know you will, but
Of course, yeah.
just direct them to somewhere safe. So Silot or what's the Elven city? Oi, Toledo.
Hmm?
That Elven city. What's it called?
I thought you knew everything.
I know, but I've forgotten. You know how much stuff I remember every single fucking day. Anyway, what's the name of that city? Come on, boy. Drummond. That's it. Okay, thanks, Toledo. Bye.
Why do you want to know?
It's completely cut off. So, yeah, if you tell them to go to either Drummond or Silot, probably Drummond, the elves have more space up there.
Right, yeah. Okay,
Cool. Right. Have a good night. Bye.
bye.
Why did you want to know about the elves?
Because he wanted to know. No, he said there's lots of refugees, whatever that word is, people, newly homeless dwarves coming down from the mountains trying to get away from all the stuff that's happening up there. And we should be nice to them and direct them to somewhere that might be able to put them up for a bit, like Drummond. Or sorry, not.
Good luck with that.
Okay. You're not going to help?
Oh, I'm all for helping. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We're the perfect two to help with that situation. I can welcome the dwarves in, and you can say, as an elf, that they would be welcome in Drummond.
I don't speak for my people.
Well, it would make them feel more comfortable.
And I'm all about making.
I know you are. You're so good at it. People just get so soothed in your presence.
Amazing. So, Snow, as you're staying and watching, I assume the rest of you are going back to sleep.
I'll be staying up now because I've
Okay.
had about 12 hours sleep or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go back.
So, Yorick, you also go back to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Gus, Snow, some perception checks, please.
10. I'll
10.
be distracted.
Oh, natural 20
Oh, my word.
or 22.
22. Perfect. So, Snow, yeah, you've been a little distracted. It's kind of disconcerting conversation you just had, and the boat disappearing instantly underneath you was not what you were expecting. Gus, you see
How wakeful you can, how alert you could be after half a day's sleep.
oh yeah, and plunging into cold water
Yeah.
to wake up, just give you a boost to the senses. You look out, there is literally miles and miles of dark countryside. There doesn't seem to be anybody moving. There's no firelight anywhere apart from the banked fire that Miette has. And you see, oddly, Celeste is... well, normally when she meditates, she sits and prepares herself in kind of a similar way to Trelador, slightly different, but you recognise this as a normal thing. And she doesn't normally move. Neither of them do. They just sort of sit there, stock still like a rock or a tree. And you can see she seems to be small movements. Her head twitching. And her eyes underneath her lids. You're not sure if it's a firelight or there are actually rapid movements there. It's very odd. But apart from that, everything seems cool.
I'll turn to Snow and say, Snow, you know, like when dogs have dreams and stuff, they twitch their legs and their eyes go and they woof and stuff when they're asleep. Look at Celeste. She's doing that like a doggy.
And you can see very small, imperceptible, just tiny movements of her.
I wonder if she's dreaming about chasing something.
Yeah,
I didn't dream about chasing. What was it now?
Snow will crouch directly in front of him and he just cock his head to one side.
Yeah, it's ever so small movements. You're surprised Gus picked it up.
Yeah. Almost like little muscle twitches type thing.
Yeah. A little sort of REM movement, eyeballs underneath her eyelids. Celeste,
That's very strange.
speaking of, you reach out in your meditative state, which is not something you're used to doing. It's not something you would... It's not recommended if you're going to get a full rest from your meditation. It's the blank mind, slowing the heartbeat, slowing everything down to preserve the body's muscular and nervous system. But reaching out with your mind like this, you encounter first darkness, and then just at the edges of that darkness and the edges of perception, you can see just out of vision. So you turn your head to look, and every time you turn your head, there's a sort of wisp of greyness just disappears out the back, out of view. And then you start to hear a voice whispering, dark, almost it's a little bit like sort of a whisper of air moving, a current of air that comes to you. It says, a walker in the darkness. Superb. What can I do for you? Will you run away, or will you stay and play?
Who is this?
Oh no, you reached out. You already know who this is. Or at least, do you? Yes, you do. You have seen my name written down, haven't you? You've thought about it in the darkness as a child. You are in my realm now. I have such a surprise to show you.
I'm not looking for you.
Oh, but you found me. Do you want to play hide and seek some more? And there are sort of the echoes of his voice all around you, and wisps of grey, fog-like tendrils. What do you do?
I'm just going to ignore it and focus on what I was trying to do in the first place.
Oh, you're trying to ignore me. That's fantastic. They always start off denying my existence.
I don't deny your existence, I just refuse to acknowledge it.
You just acknowledged it by talking to me. Foolish, foolish mortal. And yet you seek desperately for a being of power. A being. Who is it you seek? Tell me what you want.
You to go away.
But I live here in the dark, in the strange, scary spaces. Why?
Well, lucky
would
for me, I can
go?
see in the dark, so please just go.
Fantastic. I can see the dark as well. But can you see just behind your left ear?
Just going to close my eyes and...
Oh, closing your eyes doesn't really work here. And he's right, you can still see the grey wisps of tendrils all around. And there's a cold, cold sensation just behind your left ear. So,
oh, I'm scared.
Are you? I don't
No.
think so. It would take more than just this to scare one of such bravery and resolve, would it not? So
What is it you want?
I already told you. Who are you looking for? Who is
Not
it?
you.
The belligerent elf. All the same in the end, aren't you? With your haughtiness. Thinking you're better than everyone. Now tell me, wanderer in the dark, who? Name them. Who do you seek?
Why do you care so much?
I have told you, you are in my realm. I would know what you want here. Or did you stumble in by accident?
Like I said, I was not looking for you.
Ah, an accident. Well, happy accidents happen all the time, don't they?
Can you just direct me to the exit and I'll be on my way?
But of course, do recommend me to your friends. Then it goes quiet. You are back in your meditative state, with your heartbeat slowed right down. So, Florian, you were on watch, were you not?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so roll me a perception check, please.
Cool. Sorry.
It's alright.
I thought it was me and.
Snow, yes, but Florian was on watch as well.
Oh, right, sorry.
So I had you two roll while he was offline. So
Yeah, gotcha.
come on, work with me, James.
Non-natural 20.
Okay. So, you would have seen the strange little movements that Celeste had been doing in her sleep or her meditative state, which is it's very unusual. And Gus pointed it out as well. And Snow went right up to her and looked in her face. You could see tiny, tiny muscular movements. But apart from that, the darkness stretches out all around you. There's no firelights anywhere apart from banked fire that Miette made. And everything seems to be quiet.
Okay.
Okay, so the watch passes without further incident. So who would you three like to wake up? 1, 2 more?
Well, I'll stay awake because I've been asleep for half the day anyway.
I'd wake up Trellador. Well, Trellador would just be coming around, wouldn't he?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Celeste will take a little bit longer because your meditation was interrupted by that event. So yeah, Trellador is sort of coming round.
Hi, Trellador.
Hello, Florian. It's very formal.
Wasn't meant to be, but you're
No,
watching.
if this is how we talk now,
It's not how
gonna
we
have
talk.
to get used to it.
Stop taking everything literally. Come on. I'm going to get some sleep, but whether you want to or not, just see if you can mentally get in contact with your sister like I used to with Dakota. Not necessarily to speak, but just to see if you can feel her out there.
How?
Well, a bit like how you sleep, meditate. Kind of go into that, but not so deep, and just think of your sister. See if you can feel her. I only say this because she is potentially involved with what's ever going on now.
That's her business.
It's kind of yours because if you two are together and you don't know about it, that's it. End of the world. It's the burden you took on from me, and I thank you for that. I really do, but...
Well, you could say it a little bit more than you do, but...
I am grateful. Thank you, but please don't take it lightly. Just try. Maybe at some point, if not now.
I don't know how I'm... But yes, I will try. Maybe with my magic axe I can contact him.
Can I, not about the axe, can I insight him to see if he will actually try?
Of course. Trelawnor, you can make. Well, depend on this roll, really, I suppose. Make a deception or persuasion roll, your choice. You don't have to tell me which one you chose.
Both -1.
Okay. But it's important which one you chose, so you decide. Yeah. What'd you get?
Non-natural 20 again.
Okay.
5.
Are you going to try it? No. You're pretty sure he's not going to.
Well, thanks for saying he will. I'll just kind of brush it off as if it's okay.
And I'll just go, farewell, Florian.
And I'll go back down to the fire, so Miette's still not on her own, and kind of sleep there.
Okay, so Trelawnor is awake, and Gus still.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have just sort of gone back down to the water and sort of slumped back down into my sitting position.
Okay. So you're taking a rest as well, yeah? Okay, cool. So, Gus, Trelawnor, as an hour or so passes, make a perception check, please.
Okay. You're awake.
8.
8, and sorry, Gus, I missed what you said. 18. Okay. As the night gets chillier, and the clouds kind of disappear from overhead, it's a bright moonlit night, and you can see in the distance across the water just this grey wall of rolling fog coming towards you.
It's on the other side of the river.
Other side of the river at the moment. About, you would suggest, probably about a mile away. It's not moving quickly, but it is moving. And it is coming towards you.
Do you think we should be worried about that then?
Trelawnor, you haven't seen a thing.
What is it?
Look, that foggy stuff over there that's coming towards us.
Well, fog is normally bad for us, so...
But it's on the side of the river, so it might be all right.
It might be, might not.
Gus will keep it away. I mean, he's best friends with Snow, isn't he?
Why don't you keep an eye on it?
All right, I'll do just that then. I'll just sit there and watch it.
Okay.
And let me know if it gets closer.
Oh, right.
Okay. I've learned you're very good at what you do, as long as you're very clear about the instructions.
Well, yeah, I like to have proper instructions, because otherwise things will get a bit mixed up.
Well, I've got you, because I don't really think we've spoken much. What's your relationship with Yorks like?
It's all right. He's a good bloke.
Do you talk to him?
Sometimes.
Do you hear conversations with other people?
Well, when they talk to me, yeah.
Like, if Yorick's talking to him.
Right.
Do you hear that?
If he wants me to.
No, but do you hear everything?
No.
So okay. So you're below Yorick.
Well, yeah, Yorick's very special with him, because Yorick's his special man.
Well, yeah, I'm special too.
Yeah, but you're not even a dwarf, you see, so you're below the lowest dwarf in the ranking.
You keep an eye on the fog, Gus.
You might be the champ.
I'll just walk off at that. I'm not having that.
Genius. Oh, thank you, Gus. If you don't have inspiration, take that.
All right, thank you. I used the last one.
That's what they're for, people. Use them if you got them. So, with that, we will end it there for tonight. Thank you all very much for playing. I hope you enjoyed. It was certainly interesting. Got to
some very vengeful gods in there.
I don't know if vengeful's quite the right word.
Maybe not. Angry,
Insane, possibly.
possibly.
But yeah,
Bit
lovely.
mental.
That was really good fun. So, Gus, you're doing the recap next week.
Yeah.
So I hope you've got lots of Yorick's notes.
He was asleep for half the fucking session.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you won't know anything.
No.
He's not daft. Well, Gus is. James isn't.
Well, that's what Gus would have done. He'd been drinking like almost a day and had a big fight. He would have just curled up and gone to sleep.
Conveniently when it's your bloody recap.
Anyway, back to the D&D. Do you want me to go around the room, or do you want to just pile in with questions and thoughts, or...
I've got a thought.
Okay.
You know, we're nearly at 60 in the episodes. No
Yeah.
doubt we will get to 100 at one point. We need to do something really special for the 100th episode if we get there.
Okay.
Oh, I've a suggestion for that.
Okay.
How about, more people than like myself and Celeste and Yorick actually wear some element of their character's costume?
I can't grow hair. I didn't know if you knew that.
But you can
I
buy
don't know
wigs.
if you
Do,
can.
do you know what? They've got these amazing inventions for the. Look at this. I, like you, cannot grow hair, but with the power of a wig.
The power of reorcs.
Yeah. The power
You
of
turn
the
into
ox.
Tina Turner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tonight,
Okay,
Michael,
yeah, no,
I'm
that's-
me.
That's a good one. Okay, we can. Yeah, that.
I like that.
Let's
Let's
do
play
that.
100 episode.
Let's do that
Cosplay
for episode 100. Yeah.
That's
Everybody.
if we don't TPK.
Well, if you're still alive. If not, we'll have you, with your new characters.
Note to self: make character that is easy to cosplay.
Yep. Okay, so anybody else got thoughts and stuff about the session or the world in general?
We have a deadline.
Yeah.
This
End
year's
of the year.
gathering may be the
Yeah, I don't,
world's last.
how far through are we in 476?
It's springtime, as I asked last week.
It is.
Springtime.
The year has just started.
Oh, we've got time then.
Well,
Which means
So
the
we've
campaign
actually-
would have started in 475, actually. Because we've had a few time skips. Some significant ones.
See, that makes me feel like all of this is fucking, if you believe in it, destiny and fate. This is part of the plan where we would have done that anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this, Chaz.
See, we can either confront the big bad now, or we can just start playing the Benny Hill team tune and lead them on a merry chase around the map.
There's going to be a point
Here.
at which we run into a dead end with this. One of the big bads is going to catch up with us eventually.
Oh, I know.
then we will
What's
murder.
amusing him?
Aha, we've been leveling up.
We lure them into a trap in the mountains and get them to attack the dragons by accident. And then they
Yeah.
get dwarf armies to come in and help kill them, and then the dwarves and the dragons make friends. There you go, happy ending.
I will say one thing, it's really hard to try and contact someone when nobody, all previous campaigns, I believe someone has had a form of the sending spell or something like that.
I can take it, but there's no way for you to describe your parents, for instance, and me to contact them.
Really
But the
crazy
name-
low magic.
I
party.
remember from the last time, though, was Klein. I was trying to remember the half-orc adventure. You contact Klein in Larkham and say, would you mind hopping to the next village over? It's about a day away.
Hmm.
We subcontract our adventuring.
Yeah, Leo's is big
Cool,
time, we did
yeah.
save him.
Yeah, I can add, or I can rejig my spells and get sending in there if you think it will help. But
Just get rid of one of the healing spells, you never use them.
Character-wise and me-wise, I have no idea if it's going to help, but it's something what Florian would want
It's
to do,
worth a
put it that
try.
way. Everything here is connected, and if nobody believes in gods, but you've got stories where basically you were told a god name and not just as it's the boogeyman as such, I think is quite an important piece of information. Who knows? That's my thoughts, basically.
Mhm.
I'll get him out of the way before the fucking root decides to piss up again.
Do you want, Fid, do you want to ask the question, the usual question before you Router goes?
I mean, yeah. Do we level up? No. He got that in very quickly before. Oh, I've just cut off Chaz. Sorry. What was that? Yes. Okay.
Oh, 2 levels. Brilliant.
Now you're pushing it, James. I'm just having a joke.
Just need to make a little note about a certain dragon. Anybody else got any questions, thoughts, theories?
Comments. I feel me has gotten off lightly.
So far,
I think I dialed a wrong number.
A little bit.
I mean,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
he-
that's it. So I wasn't there for when you started doing that. So who did you try and contact?
she didn't say out loud.
Yep.
Messaged me about it.
Okay.
I think she accidentally dialed 5387 Tigrol.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I was guessing as well.
Because I don't think that's Ardiac.
No.
I think
No, 'cause-
Ardiac's a lot more upfront and faceless with the horror.
I was thinking more of like, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But it's the one in the dark, and it was dark.
Yeah, but
You
Ardiac's
were-
a lot
Yeah.
more
Yeah, but
dedicated for terrifying people.
he specifically referred to her friend, i.e., Florian, somebody who already has a connection to Ardiac. That was Ardiac.
Mm,
Oh, I might have missed that bit as well.
I actually missed that bit and I didn't even drop out.
Cheers for pointing it out again, Tim.
I got the impression it was Ardiac, but that's just me.
The thing
Who
is, if
knows?
it's Ardiac and he's actually had a conversation with Trelador before and is technically following me yet,
And the fog is coming.
yeah.
Hmm.
Dear gods, please leave a clearing caller card.
it feels like if any god was going to contact in a nightmare-like situation, it would be the Lord of Nightmares.
It feels like all of the gods is like that scene from American Psycho, where they're all comparing business cards, and they're all trying to one-up each other every time they speak to us.
Yeah.
Comic Sans,
They're
and
more
there's
like
that
one
beautiful
off
raised
somewhere.
lettering as well. Oh, lovely.
If the frogs come into us, I've got a feeling that Celeste's going to regret that sort of finding a backbone and being arrogant to a god. Somehow.
Obviously, Theodore been rubbing off on her. Not literally.
That-
That was
elves.
disgusting.
What is it with you people and not showing the required respect to a god?
Yeah, it's quite simple.
Me as an
Got-
atheist.
Got one of you just telling them to go away. We've got one of you making demands. 2 of you making demands. You 2.
I'm not making
will-
demands. It's a two-way relationship.
I'll let you know how I interact with gods when one of them talks to me.
You don't. Yeah. You,
Never-
you-
In a relationship, he tells you what to do, and you do it.
Yeah, but if you're looking for somebody and somebody else butts in, that's rude
Yeah, but
to
the thing
begin
is,
with.
you lot have had 300 years of practice, whereas up until about 8 months ago, we didn't even know gods existed. So we're sort of learning on the fly on how to interact with them.
And you're forgetting it could be just a big coincidence that that's happened and the fog's coming, because there's no discernible pattern as of yet.
That was not who I dialed. That's all I can say for certain.
Snow, you're right. I apologise. I will sit down and give you a little seminar on how to respect your god.
So essentially, you're going to dwarf-splain how to God.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
He's done it to me quite a few times. So
Melissa's sat on the sides going, and this is why I joined a church that doesn't have a god at the centre of it.
It's a
That you
cult.
know of.
No, just the
Yes.
Prince of Hell instead.
That's a cult.
Was definitely saner than.
Yeah.
My God.
That's endgame, isn't it? That is endgame. At some point, Chaz is going to message me and Melissa, and it'll be like, right, and now you need to get everybody to drink this drink at the same time.
Yep. Convince all your friends to do.
It's going to be a
Yeah,
whole
it-
lot of
All of you to lie down on the floor
Traitor.
and roll around.
Indeed. So, unless there's any other particular questions that you have, we'll call it a night, I think. Okay, so... sorry, forgot to ask. Terry, got any questions? No questions from Terry. So we're all good. Right, okay, so thank you very much for playing. You've been wonderful. And thank you for watching. If you watched, you enjoyed it, great. We love having you here. If you didn't watch, then I'm talking to no one. If you didn't like it, well, just off you fuck. And we will see you again on Sunday for the next episode of The Investigators, barring footballing emergencies. This is what happened last week. So, if there's a footballing emergency, we'll probably not do it. But we don't expect any.
No. Partly football, partly we're going into something very deep and complex, and I needed an extra week to plan for
Exactly.
it.
DM needed time, and you should always give your DMs time. So, thank you all very much for watching. We will be back here on Sunday for The Investigators, and then, of course, back here again on Tuesday for the follow-up to this, where Gus gives his recap. So, one not to miss. Okay? We'll see you all very soon. See you later. Bye.
Gus gives his recap, and the DM gives another one afterwards.